Like, what's going on with the people, man? How y'all feeling, man? Everybody good? Y'all feeling exquisite, man? Y'all ain't down in the dumps, is y'all? Stressing over some bullshit. I hope y'all ain't doing that. Not fucking with me. No, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna stress over bullshit over here, you hear me? We ain't gonna do that. What we is gonna do is control some high vibes, and that's what we gonna do today. If y'all don't wanna do that, then kick motherfucking rocks. No, we can't get on some gangster shit too though. I was just talking to my mans. I was like, man, I don't really talk about the hood enough. And then I noticed that none of these YouTubers talk about the hood enough. And when they do talk about the hood, they talk as if they're not in the hood and it's those niggas. And the shit get frustrating with me. I be just looking like, bro, who you really trying to wake up? Some fuck niggas or some real niggas. That's how I look at what's good with everybody though, man. What's going on, Hunter, man? Shit, man, I'm just cooling out, man. I'm just cooling out, trying to get a panel jumping. Let niggas talk they spill. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to get orchestrated today. What's up,
What's up,
Balance?
Balance?
Hey,
Hey,
Balance.
Balance.
What's good?
What's good?
All right, something ain't right. You ain't saying nothing, bro.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. What's good with you?
Oh, what's up, bro?
Shit, cooling out. Hey, what you feel about the voting system?
Uh, the part of the divide and conquer,
So you
like
said
you
it's
vote.
a divide and conquer scheme.
Yeah,
That is cool.
it's like
That's
choose a side. Cause what you really voting for? You ain't voting to make a difference. You just voting for a person.
so you saying the government basically is the dividing line as all the peoples pick a side and then they slice it down the middle and win every time. Sort of like the banker on Monopoly. I know what you're saying. That's deep.
Right.
That's deep because if you chose Democrat, right? But now I can talk about the how they run it and make the shit sound weird. It's like this. It's like Democrats will give you everything, right? But you won't own nothing at the end of the day. Republicans say get it out the mud. At least you will have something for your people when you die, right? Because it's gonna take you that long to get it out the mud. So now there's no in between line. Like, why is it either submit or get it out the mud? Why it ain't balanced in together? And that's how I be looking at that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all a setup. Because if it was really to help people, it wouldn't be structured that way. It would be structured for everybody can win, but only one side win. So that means either the right hand win or the left hand win. Why the whole body can't win?
Yeah. And one thing people don't know is they vote don't count. So it'd be weird. They be like, yeah, I voted. So fucking what, bro? If you didn't vote, they already got who they got. That's
And they
just what
tell
they
you the
gonna do,
popular
man.
vote don't matter.
And then they tell you and say, well, the electoral vote or whatever they be saying. But what I'm saying is even the electoral vote don't count. No
Well,
vote count. They
right.
know exactly who gonna be the president in 2035, dog. Right now,
Yeah. They
there's
got
no,
an
there's
agenda.
no. They're not gonna let you know that. They want you to think you voted them in. They don't care what the hell we talking about, man. They're gonna run this shit solid. And you know it's called putting a foot on the neck. It's like when they got their foot on your neck. If they take it off, they know you're gonna swing back. So they not taking their foot off. So we gotta figure out a way to get this foot off our neck. Are we gonna strangle ourselves to death, bro? Keep following these stupid ass people talking this stupid ass shit while my motherfucking people starving. That's brilliant, and then they say they starving because they stupid. Get the fuck out of here. These is brilliant people that's starving that I know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of motherfuckers eating too, but I'm saying, what about the starving ones? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I got a lot of people eating. I know I got a lot of people starving. I know a lot of people, and I know
Yeah,
that's like that
it's
with
definitely
everybody.
it's
Every
definitely unbalanced. You know what I mean? It's either a winner or a loser, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is. Hell, motherfucking yeah, it is.
And I know what you're saying about the hood. Like that's where everybody started. Well, at least everybody I know started from the hood. Even if you got out, that's where you got your foot in at.
I mean, everybody get out, but they forget what they left behind. You see what I'm saying? Everybody, like you still got you still got Ray, you still got nieces and nephews, you still got shit in the hood. Just because you made it out, then that's a woosah for yourself. That's a selfish mentality right there. Of course, I'm gonna move out the hood. It's when they forget. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right?
like
Don't go back to the hood and make it better for your people. They did
you
the
could take a
opposite with
nigga out the hood,
gentrification.
but oh my bad, go ahead.
I was saying they did the opposite with gentrification, where they go in and buy in the low income properties and then make the rent real high so niggas can't afford it.
That's a real spill too. Matter of fact, I need to put a ticker on. Let me put a ticker on and say real spill. Hold on. We're gonna have fun today. I don't think nobody gonna really rock today, man. It's kind of a weird day. Hold on.
Did you start the show yet?
Yeah, my bad, man. My shit was fucking up. Um. Oh yeah, y'all go ahead. Though I'm just trying to get this ticker on here.
What's good,
Hey,
Hunter?
another day in paradise, man. What's up with you?
Shit, everybody cool. And how you feeling,
Mm.
man?
I can't complain. I'm in Minnesota.
Shit, chilling with
Minnesota.
you breaking up. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. All right, go ahead.
You say
Go
you
ahead.
in
You got
Minnesota, Hunter?
yeah, this shit breaking up like a mother. Or it might be my shit to keep it 100. Cause I on the server.
Nah, Josh said he gonna come up.
All right, cool. You said you in Minnesota, dog.
My bad, y'all.
Cool. You said you in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, right now I'm in Minnesota.
Cool, man. You could bring up. Damn, I done set on my fucking week. Hey, you can bring up a topic you want to talk about, man. It don't matter what you talking about up here, bro. We could talk about Godzilla. All I give a fuck. But what you want to talk about, bro? We gonna let you start the segment off, man.
All right, cool. Well, to be honest with you, some a thought that's been coming back to me lately was it's like manhood, um, and pretty much having a drive. Like for me personally, I'm coming off of not only being unemployed, working for a company that I didn't want to work for, being surrounded by people who didn't care about my true about how can I say this? Just about me and my intentions, like how I'm feeling on a daily basis. So it's like coming out of that situation, I realized that I lost a lot of drive. And as from the outside looking in, most of us believe that confidence is something that we lack, when it's the drive that we lack. Confidence is all about how you feel about yourself. That doesn't determine, in my opinion, that doesn't determine anything that you can receive in life. But on the flip side, depending on your drive, how bad you want it, how bad you're willing to work for it, what you're willing to do to get to that end result makes a difference. And that's just something that I fell short on because I was just looking at life and I just said, fuck it, man. It was just so much shit going on. I just wanted to lock my
But
door and not
look,
come outside.
so boom, now what give you that drive, right? That's what they hold from you, right? No matter how much you say fuck money, right? At the end of the day, that shit
You need it.
motivates you, right? Because it gets you the things that get you by, right? If it
Exactly.
if it wasn't money, you would worship oranges if that's what got you by. If that's what right. So now
You
they
mean in
got us
exchange.
locked into this. Yeah, they got us locked into the whole system with it. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with you. And that's kind of like my point because you're forced to go to 9 to 5. You're forced to go to the supermarket to get your food. You're forced to go to the utility wherever you are to get your electricity, your water, all that shit going. When about 200-300 years ago, our ancestors, they didn't have to go through any of this stuff. Their food was being grown in their backyard. Your mom, your dad, your grandmother, whoever was your doctor. You feel me?
And
There was more of
and
a
when you can't do
family.
it though, you
Hmm?
got to. I said I was about to say when you can't do it, that fucks people's self esteem up, man. When they can't
Yeah.
take care of their family, when they can't, and then the suicide rate. Shout out to George Macon. That's when suicide rates start raising. That's when pressure busts pipes. You know what I mean?
Big facts.
And
But
and I
another
think
Go
thing,
I
ahead.
think the
go ahead.
the the main thing is motivation.
Oh yeah,
Motivation is
Yeah.
what drives you. Like if you motivated to do anything, you're gonna get off your ass and do it.
yeah. I
Feed your
wasn't really.
family, sex, whatever. Even if it's a girl, you got to be motivated to be with her. You know what I mean?
Even if it's
Not
some
well.
Jordans, I know what you're saying. It can even be
Well,
a pair of Jordans to make somebody get off their ass.
well. To be honest with you,
It
for
ain't got
me,
nothing to do with it ain't got hold
it,
on real quick. It ain't got
go
nothing
ahead.
to do with in Pacific. I'm gonna get right to you. It ain't got nothing to do with in Pacific, like you said. It could be
Mm,
a female, it can be a car you want, it can be a high bank account you want. You just want your digits to raise. But that shit'll
right.
motivate you. But go ahead, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, nah, you good. So I guess at one part of my life, I was doing real good. But when I started learning about the Christianity, politics, that literally it deflated the balloon that I had. In other words, I didn't care about working. Only thing I really, to make that part short, the only part that I truly cared about was my kids and their mom and my family. On the flip side, everything else, it just didn't matter because
You've
again,
been
it
lied to
puts
so much.
right. It's like no matter where you go, you think you're like. I'll give you an example. I've been vegan for 4 years or plant based, right? But there are so many different things that you're eating that has pork or a little bit of pectin or all these little shits, and you're not even paying attention to it. Whether it's gummies, uh, some of these plant-based foods that you can order from the supermarket, and then when you look at the ingredients, it's not really plant-based. Or here's even worse: I'm sure you heard GMO before, right? So how can you have an organic seed that's GMO?
You can't. That's like a seedless, great
But
organic.
no, but it's out here, right?
Organic, seedless
If
grape.
you
It's
go,
an
Hey,
oxymoron.
no,
It's like,
you
how
but
can
you
you
walk,
think
get
you're
it
doing.
is,
you can walk
hey,
into the
listen,
supermarket.
no.
I'm
Listen.
listening.
It's called when they do that with the seed, it's because they fuck with the RNA of the plant, right? And then they
Understood.
had that plant produce that seed, and then when they grow that seed, it has no seeds, like that. Like it's sort of like how they stem cell your DNA and all that. The plant has the same components, but it's called RNA, and they fuck with the RNA of the plant, and that's how
Hmm.
they do that shit. But go ahead.
No, but that's my point. It's like if you don't do any additional research on your own, you would never know. You think you're plant based all your life, but yet you're eating pork bits every day. How would you know? And that right there, it's like as I mentioned before, it put me in a position where I had to pretty much unlearn a whole plethora of shit just to relearn a whole plethora of shit. So now I'm gaining knowledge on how to grow my own food. I'm understanding a lot better in terms of how to take care of my wounds or just my body anytime I'm getting sick. Like one thing that you could do, you could probably spend about $20, get you some purple onions, some garlic, some ginger, dice them up real small, then get you some real unfiltered raw natural honey. You can pour it in there, let it ferment for about 2 weeks. The honey itself it's not gonna be thick anymore because it pulls all the phytonutrients out of the herbs, and it makes the honey into like this golden elixir, and that in returns brings so much nutrients to your body
Mm.
that your average meal wouldn't do, and it fights off most of your sicknesses out your body.
That's
So
called
again,
manna. Manna.
um,
That's called
it's the
manna. That's what they, like in the Bible they said they fed to the people.
mhm. uh, yeah. So for me, I just voting or just who's the best rapper, all that shit. That shit don't phase me, man. It's like if it ain't really about building the families, getting. I believe you mentioned something about drop. You mentioned excuse me. You mentioned about
I,
the people who can't do nothing for themselves. I can't remember verbatim what you said, but it was something along those lines. And what I would say to that would be I myself was in that situation where I didn't want to do anything for myself because of my situation. But that didn't mean that there's never an opportunity that they or myself can take advantage of to get ourselves out of the hole, even if that means you being a part of a system for a short period of time. At some part, we have to bite that bullet to really make a difference in our lives.
Oh yeah, you gotta swallow your pride, even
You
about
got
like
to.
the flat earth shit or the truth shit. In
Oh
certain
yeah.
situations, it will harm your intentions, like wherever you're trying to go. Like if you let that interfere with it.
Yeah. And that's just something that I had to learn because sometimes I have conversations with individuals and I could tell they're looking at me some type of way and I don't give a fuck. But then on the flip side, it's like potentially I lost because I wasn't able to be beside myself and not be, I don't know what the word is, but not look at them like I'm better than them because of the information that they're turning away or whatever the case may be.
Right,
I
because
know for a fact that
everybody
I
wake up
push. Go ahead.
everybody wake up on their own time. You
Yeah.
can't force people. Like when you plant a seed, you can't make it grow the way you want it to grow. It's gonna
Right.
grow.
Nature has its own path. One, you could have the same seed from the same batch of from the same harvest, and each seed is going to grow entirely different, even though they all came from the same mother.
Exactly. And once you put that into your reality, you won't be bothered with the people who's trying to trigger you or that they don't get it. Like that shit used to bother me. Like y'all so smart
Agreed.
that y'all stupid. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck?
But yeah, this was so pretty much everything that I'm speaking on was maybe months ago. The state of mind now is entirely different, but it's just getting to the state of mind is just it's the that's the real struggle because not only again like I said earlier, not only do you have to go to work, but you got to take care of your family. You got to take care of yourself. You want to make the most out of your life, but how the fuck you gonna do that when you spend most of your time working? 16 hours, maybe you're gonna do some overtime. Then when you come home, you got all the shit that you gotta do. Besides the things that make you feel good about you being that individual that has to do the stuff anyway.
it's because we have never been taught to be self-sufficient and inside out. Like we don't look at things to help us. We look at how we helping these companies grow millions, like for working from them, instead of putting that 8 hours a day into ourselves. Man,
Mm-hmm.
we, for 40 years or 20 years, we'd be good.
So
Yeah.
that's the funny thing. I believe that we're now going into a new age where all that 10, 20, 30 year mark, that was for our parents. Our mark is literally, I'll say maybe somewhere anywhere from 3 to 10 years, because how fast technology is moving and advancing, it allows us to skip all those little steps in between that our parents and our grandparents didn't have an option to. But on the flip side, if we don't see the opportunity, we're always going to miss it.
Hell yeah.
Opportunity with preparation.
You know.
So all right, cool. We talking about motivation, right?
Yeah.
And dude, it's so diverse on what motivate people. How do you get a bunch of people motivated under the same uh
Mm.
uh under the same over the word
No, I
like
believe I understand your question.
I gotta
How
answer.
do you get a whole bunch of people to
Hold on
pretty
a
much
second, y'all
understand
go
your
ahead.
point of view? All right. So, in
Never
my
mind.
opinion,
Can
I
y'all
believe
hear?
you
Oh,
can't
my
really.
shit ain't even. Can y'all hear me,
Yeah,
bro?
we
I
hear
can
you,
Shit
hear you.
drop.
acting
We
weird
hear
on
you.
my end, bro.
Yeah, I hear you clear, bro.
Hold on.
Hmm.
Stupid.
How do you get groups of people motivated, right?
Right. So, myself personally, I don't worry too much about the groups, because when I did try to talk to them, it's a little different. Where so I'm originally from Florida, right? And my Floridians are a special group of people. They really don't give a fuck about anything outside of themselves. And it's not everybody. I'm not speaking for everyone as a whole, but in terms of just the individuals, when you walk around, you can kind of see it. Not a lot of people are holding doors. Not a lot of people are greeting one another. It's like a rat race. Man, get out my way. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. So for what I realize, what really makes a difference, people like to see what's going on before they really dive in. So if you just look like you're successful in anything that you're doing, or you sound like you're successful, you sound smart, you can articulate yourself in a way where it makes them like, damn, I wonder what he does behind closed doors. That's what really draws people's interest and brings them in. On the flip side, if you focus solely on treating the people some type of way to get them on your team, and you don't have the necessary things, no matter what it is, basketball, politics, health, if you don't have the necessary information to bring value when they do come, then you already shot yourself in the foot, because it wouldn't make a difference. All the information that you have is just going to be bumping heads, because they're going to ask you a question. Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to have to parking lot that one. I don't know. Or maybe I can ask somebody else and I'll get back to you. It's completely different when you, as soon as you open your mouth, everything comes out is straight value. People will flock to you like white on rice.
So you saying drop continuous gems,
Yeah. Be
and that'll
you.
get the,
Be you
yeah.
indifferently and genuinely, and the people who need to be around you will flock to you naturally. You should never have to do so much just to get people to hear you, because truth, mm, freedom's bell rings true no matter what, right? So in other words, as long as the shit that I'm speaking on or anyone is speaking on is, again, it brings value and it's factual, you can't knock that. You can't take nothing away from the truth. It's always verifiable. And you I mean, again, as long as it's something that you can, in my opinion, I like to read. And if I can open a book, see a couple things, and be able to cross reference it, I already know. All right, I'm already on the right direction. But if I'm looking at something and I'm getting more questions, I don't know if I'm going in the right way. I don't know.
And not to be like
Mhm.
I don't know what the word is, but the truth is only a balance of it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to use my name, but
No, you're
truth is objectable. You know what I'm saying? From the eyes
right.
of the beholder. So your truth might not be somebody else's truth because they're
Right.
not living in that moment of searching or know that they even been lied to.
Right.
So to them, like even when before you got onto your journey, you were believing a certain way, maybe in a church, maybe in the globe or whatever. But to you, that was reality, and can nobody
Yeah.
tell you different?
Facts. Facts. If you said something otherwise than what I believed in, well, let me take two steps back. I had to learn how to not take things personal. So before, if someone would come to me and challenge anything that I believed in, I would just look at you like, whoa, wait a minute, who are you to come to me and say this? Like with no receipts, you ain't telling me nothing, you ain't letting me know nothing. You're just saying this, that, and the third. But that was my point. Like if someone was able to come with information that was verifiable, that completely changes the script. That gives me something for me to cross-reference and make sure that I'm on the right page. Hence how I got into learning about Christianity and a whole plethora of other things.
Yeah, that should make you mad when like you've been lied to so long and shit. That's just frustrating at first.
It was very much so. But then I had to
So
realize that they're all lying to us for a reason. And until we kind of figure out what that reason is, why they're lying to us, then it's pointless to be mad. It's like you
who
getting mad
lied
at
to
somebody.
you?
Hmm? Oh, well, I mean, who
Who
didn't lie
lied
to
to
us?
you?
But it's not
Them
really
motherfuckers
who
right
did.
in our faces and shit, bro.
It's who isn't lying to us. Even the people that look like us, but they're on in front of the TV, whether it's
It ain't
Will Smith
nobody lie to you,
or
cuz.
hey
That's
man.
the whole evil of it, bro. They ain't
Mm,
lie. They actually, everything that's happening, they actually tell you right in your face, and ain't nothing we can do about it, bro. But hey, the devil can't lie. Devil can't keep a secret. Always remember that. But go ahead. You got. I ain't mean to mess your build up in this
no, no,
building
no,
though, because
no.
I know what you're saying though. I know exactly. We've been bamboozled basically, and that's not a
So
lie. Bamboozled is a whole different thing. But go ahead. You got it.
here's one of the ones that really pissed me off the most. Right. Um, have you guys ever heard of anything called an American National?
Yeah,
So when I came into that knowledge, I was beyond pissed off, right? Because I'm looking at the situation. I understand that law came from, I believe it was Roman or Greek, somewhere around there, but it's trickled off into something called maritime law, right? And maritime law is the law of the sea. Now, when you look at law of the sea, you're thinking that there's going to be some type of water, right? Some physical water, when in reality, it's a metaphysical water that they're referring to. Just as much as when you walk into a courthouse, you're walking onto a metaphysical ship, right? Or on the flip side, when a baby is born, the baby, or excuse me, when a ship is entering into a new country, right? It has to dock. So when your baby is being born, it has to come through the birth canal, which is similar to or is in representation to a ship coming into the canal, and then a dock or doctor then checks your how is this called, your manifesto to see if these items are actually here. So in other words, when a baby is born, the baby comes into this world, the doctor, spanks it, makes sure it's alive, and then the doctor goes through this whole little process that we're not aware of, that pretty much strips the baby's rights or strips your rights from you being the legal parent. Even though you'll be the biological parent, you wouldn't be the legal guardian any longer once you sign over your birth certificate. So they force you to sign the birth certificate, and you lose all rights to your kids. Then not only do you lose rights to your kids, but you also have to, you fall victim to excuse me, we all fall victim to believing that these privileges and benefits that they provide to us are, one, beneficial to us, and two, necessary, when in reality that is the crutch. That is how you get us. The contracts that we've been signing since our kids were born, whether it's your birth certificate, your cell phone bill, anything that you sign is called an endorsement. And then that endorsement endorses a contract which is held against you. Now, there is I don't want to call it an account, but if there is a separate uh, fictional financial system that generates money based off of the energy on our backs. So, in other words, every individual citizen, every citizen that comes into this land is essentially a stock number. So when you look at your birth certificate, there's going to be this little series of numbers. That series of numbers is your stock number, or similar to your barcode number for an item when you go to Publix. So if I'm not confusing anyone, essentially I am saying that the government is treating you like a piece of bread or eggs or whatever that you could buy in the supermarket, and they trade that for value for millions of dollars. But yet, I'm pretty sure each and everyone that's on the panel, anyone that's in the chat, they can walk outside, go to the nearest city, and see a whole bunch of people that's homeless, not even realizing that there's a bond that the government created in their name that's worth millions of dollars that can change their lives. But through ignorance and not understanding certain things in law, we would never, excuse me, we wouldn't have a real understanding of the things or the processes that are set excuse me, the real processes that are set to really get us up out of a hole, or yeah, excuse me, get us up out of a hole. And excuse me if anything sounds a little confusing, I can go back to it, but
But hey, no, it sounds great. But did you know this? Did you know? And let me let Mental grab it after me because he
yeah.
just joined us now. Did you know every child born, the government take insurance out on them? That's what your Social Security card is. So that mean
So
every child born. Listen,
mhm. Yeah, I'm
that
listening.
mean every child. Listen, that mean every child born got a life insurance on them. So every time somebody die, that's how much. I mean, everybody. So that alone control all the money and power right there, just the life and death. Long as they can keep people living to 72, no more than that, they getting 30 to 40 years extra bread, and it's a whole setup. But go ahead. I mean, go ahead, Mental Ninja, and then you can come in after Mental.
What
Let's
up
go,
with y'all,
mental.
man? Sir Jock, peace. Hunter D or 4D, Balance
Yes.
Truth. Everybody in the chat.
Peace,
Yeah,
peace.
like the whole idea behind that, the maritime law and shit is basically, it was really basically established in our country, like right after the fucking the union wars, because like what we protesting right now, the niggas like really went to war with the people, that with the police, like they was killing them niggas and shit, like hundreds of thousands of motherfuckers that got going to war. They don't really talk about that, but what happened was, in order to keep the people from uniting and voting to overthrow or to take away what the power elite or whatever, or the corporate structure has and stuff,
Hmm.
they put these systems in place that are designed to keep the people in like a level of anxiety and insecurity and shit like that with their professions and stuff. So the rich can get richer, and it's a small group that get richer, and the poor get poorer, or the middle class kind of like just kind of gets fucked in the middle.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea with the maritime law house applies to like birth certificates and numbers and shit. That was like their best way of keeping. They don't want democracy. We claim democracy, but the democracy is for the people, and they've turned the corporate idea into an entity, and basically that's what like the uh the Second Amendment or whatever of due process and shit really doesn't apply to people. That shit applies to corporations,
Exactly.
that
The
they're
fake people.
sovereign and shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's an actual process they have to go through before they even can be arrested or any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? We get arrested automatically, but you can't arrest a fucking corporation. And so basically they're viewed as immortal people, immortal persons and stuff that have a higher standing
Right.
than the actual citizens and shit. And so they view us, the corporate entity, and the people that are like, the children of it, I guess, or whatever, the heirs of it. They view the rest of the people as a produce, as a product and stuff, because you kind of have
Livestock.
to. Yeah, I wouldn't even say livestock. I would say marketable goods. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? And the marketable goods and shit, depends on how you can market that shit. And so the whole idea of the dollar system and conversion from like the gold system to the paper system, was to prevent any of us to be able to obtain what they have and shit, to keep the power in their hands. Now, at the same time, like the billions and billions attached to our social, like that's like neither here nor there, because like we're not going to ever access that shit. That's like another fail safe to say like, oh, if we act in a certain way or get our information put in a certain way that we'll have access to this money. We'll never have access to that ever. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole money system is again designed to keep people poor. That's why the money's there and shit. Otherwise, why we want the gold standard, because gold is fucking all omnipotent and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they use the cash system, and then like of course trading your gold for cash is like is dumb as fuck, but that's their best way of keeping the democracy for them and not for us.
Well, so when it comes to money, the money part, I think that's the deception. We shouldn't want to get control of the money because there is no real money. In 1933, the company went bankrupt. All the gold went somewhere, wherever the fuck it went. So they created the Federal Reserve notes in lieu to using gold and silver as currency. So on the flip side, I believe that there is a system that they're utilizing where it's pretty much just charge offs here, transfer this over there, because you can use well, I've done this personally, so I know what it is, right? Your social security number is actually a routing number. So if you can literally, I've paid a couple bills, even though I'm gonna be very transparent. The bills did reject, but it took 3 days. Last time I checked, if there was an account that was closed and it had no money, it wouldn't take 3 days to reject. You wouldn't receive no authorization. You wouldn't have a pending transaction. The bitch will decline right then and there. But for some reason, when I use my social security, and I can't remember what the account number was, I use it to pay FPL, cell phone bill, and American Express. And I kid you not, those transactions went through, and then they rejected 3 days later. So your social security number is a routing number that's tied to something else. I wouldn't say it's an account. I wouldn't say there's real money, because real money is tangible, gold and silver, something that's tradable. Whatever it is that they're doing, they have full knowledge. They know what to do. I know it has a lot to do with insurance, equity, trust, and there's one other thing, accounting, right? So in other words, if you have some knowledge in little bits of those areas and you came into this information, you would really know exactly what's going on. They use the trust to protect themselves. They use the all the other benefits and privileges to transfer the money from one part to another. I mean, I'm not claiming that I know everything, but you could kind of see bits and pieces of how things work once you kind of just think outside the box and go around what they're giving you. And I'm only saying that because, again, the social security number, we think it's something else, but in reality, it is a routing number. A routing number, I believe, has 9 digits. All routing numbers are 9 digits long. So look up any government number that has a total of 9 numbers, and I'm sure, more than positive, there's money that's being flowed through, or excuse me, there's some type of currency or means of a medium to transfer energy in some way, shape, or form. I don't
So
think
you
there's, I
saying
don't
that's
think there,
why you saying
Mhm.
that's why the social security number got 9 numbers?
Of course, I used it to pay a bill. I wouldn't, what was his name? Harvey Dent. About 4 years ago, this guy named Harvey Dent dropped the video, and I'm watching the video, and he's just saying all this bullshit. And then when he got to the actual social security part, and then you could pay your bills, I was like, oh shit, pay your bills with your social security card. Now, again, I was gullible. I just did it just to do it, just to see. But it opened up my mind because the things that came afterwards, it really just showed me that we are being lied to. Like, the government, or excuse me, law uses a vocabulary called legalese. Legalese, you would think that between me and you, if I had a conversation and I said person, you would think I'm talking about somebody that's physically breathing. But in reality, when you're looking into legalese, a person is a fictitious entity. So what's a fictitious entity? Home Depot, Publix, any one of these capital letter corporations would be considered a fictitious entity. Why is that important? Because when you look at your driver's license, your whole name is in capital letters. So now when you go to the Black's Law Dictionary and you look up how to identify a fictitious entity, all capital letters. So again, I'm not saying that I know everything, but it's just like certain things don't add up. But then when you go around what the fuck they showing you, then you're like, oh, y'all trying to be slick. So again, I don't really know what the fuck is really going on, but they ain't get me like that. I know it's to transfer funds. I just don't know to what extent, and I know that there's multiple accounts, and that you have the Federal Reserve, which is identical to the IMF, just on a global scale. Excuse me, the IMF is identical to the Federal Reserve, just on a global scale. So our country isn't the only country that's going through this process. That's the only reason I brought that up. Our whole
Hey,
That's
on
cool.
another side
Somebody
of it,
else trying to grab it.
yeah, another side of it too. Like we thinking that the company is the fictitious individual or identity when it's not the company, it's us. We're the fictitious individual. The
mm,
company's sovereign. It wasn't born through the way we were born. Like the names, like talk the capital names and shit are given. That's a given name and shit. It's a title given to somebody. It has to be registered and all that stuff, copyright and all that stuff. So
mm-hmm,
like it's not a name that we chose for ourselves. That's one like and the system is designed like what we're talking about is the working of the system to keep poor people poor and to
exactly,
funnel all the money to a certain area and stuff of a chosen few or select few and stuff. Now, the thing is, like, there's no way out of this system because once you figure it out, you try to manipulate it, you're just in the system once more and stuff. And now you're like, all right, am I going to be on the bottom of the top or in the middle and stuff, which nothing changes and stuff. The whole goal, it really would be to separate oneself from the system. And you
exactly,
don't even have to like fucking like destroy your information, all that shit. You just fucking don't engage in it. Like it's like that mind thing of like, how am I gonna let this get? I'm gonna let this affect me and shit. You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on and shit. All right, it's going on now. What do I do? No matter what, you're gonna be left with that question. Now, what do I do with the knowledge that I have and stuff? Because and again, with the whole idea of there's no bailouts for an individual of outside of like Chapter 13 and bankruptcy and shit.
right,
Taking
right,
death, but for the corporate entities, there's always a bailout, and that's how they establish more debt. The whole goal is to keep us thinking that we are in debt, and the whole system is so structured, the legalese and all that stuff, because it has to have some semblance of a real structure and shit. And it's only as real as it is as long as we pay into it and buy into the idea.
exactly,
Once we
exactly.
stop, what they'll do, and they're this smart, they're gonna unroll a new system, and that's what we have seen over the past the 2020 and shit with all these
Yep,
bailouts and shit to fucking retard the fucking people so much and put them in so much stress that they're like, all right, I don't care what you guys do, just do something.
fix
Like,
it,
okay, we got that, we'll fix it.
fix it. Yep,
And that's
I
what
agree with
they
you.
call it the nanny state, where we wait for the government to fix all of our fucking problems and shit. While what they're doing is we're high like the corporate, like the people that like Alan Greenspan, all these motherfuckers and shit. They tell you they said it in these commissions. Like our goal is to keep fucking job insecurity the number one thing. I mean, this was a televised conference like 15, 20 years ago, or like 98 or whatever and shit, where you can hear him say it. You know what I'm saying? People don't care. They really don't care. They're more worried about having to pay their bills. And that's the need. That's why we have the fashion and the media and the fucking music industries and the movie industries. It's all designed to keep us distracted because let us
Mm-hmm.
start thinking for ourselves. That's what will happen. We will think for ourselves. We'll question who we are. That's why this shit don't apply to animals. Even in the zoos and shit, where they got them caged up, it don't apply to animals and shit. So basically, separate. You'll have to take that sovereign identity as an animal, but then like, but you're still human and shit. Like, you know what? Fuck it. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm just not gonna
Exactly,
buy into it and attach my energy, emotional states to where it ruins my day and shit. Because like these systems, bro. Like they're smart enough. They understand how the universal system, the physical system, the emotional, psychic, all these different cars, how they work, and they're just applying those knowledges into this. You know what I'm saying? Now, what we want to do individually, because once we get like 4 or 5 people together, 2 people together, it's just a new system with when one person might end up losing. You know what I'm saying? Is individually have to figure our own system and live by that sovereignly, but then at the same time, amicably with the rest, the other different systems going on, because there's always billions, infinite systems happening all the time, like from the cellular structure all the way to the mechanical, all the way to the environmental. So we can't beat that. It's just about living peacefully and being okay no matter what structure the system we're in.
yeah, I appreciate that because well, I'm sorry. Anyone else wanted to go? I don't want to.
And one more
So,
thing, like the
mhm,
idea that they lying to us, like Drop said, they ain't lied to us. And in the end, like for me as a flat earther and shit, like I was like, okay, is it the Illuminati? Because niggas had brought us some names of people to blame. I was like, they said it was Satan because the Christian niggas say it's Satan, and other people say it's Illuminati, it's the Freemasons, it's the cabal, it's the Luciferians and shit. I'm like, well, I can't prove that shit, but then I can prove that ain't nobody fucking made me decide to remember and regurgitate the information. I just chose to. Whether it was because I wanted to pass or not, I never questioned this shit, bro. And that's the biggest thing. Have I questioned the
But
information?
Beto, look, Beto, the interesting thing you said, but you had went furthermore was that cabal, right? So once you get to dealing with a whole nother name, now you talking about something that's like when you talk about the cabal, that's actually against against the government, basically. You see what I'm saying? It's actually more like a high scale what's the fake name for the terrorists and shit? Al Qaeda and those fake
ISIS
shit.
Anonymous.
Yeah, all that fake shit. But the cabal, that's real for real. This is why you just don't they don't just absolutely run directly over us. You see what I'm saying? So actually the cabal will be on your side. You see what I'm saying? And then you would deal with the Illuminati on the other side. That's their ranking battles. It's when the governments fight each other, when they disagree on two different sides. So they're like, it's always a this way and that way. You see what I'm saying? So basically, the cabal would be like the Democrats, and the Illuminati would be the Republicans, for a lack of better words. But what's going on, Huey, man? How you feeling, bro?
Feeling high as I always am. You know what I mean. Up in the sky. You know what I mean. Just up there,
Floating.
just
Hey,
blowing green, just being
Ain't
green. You know how we be green.
nothing wrong with that.
You know.
hey,
Shout out to
another
the
thing.
guys, man. What's up, Sir Drop? What up, everybody on the panel? Mental Ninja. I can't see everybody's name, so shout out to
Hey,
everybody.
PCU, Huey. Huh?
Hey, yo, one thing real quick. Hey, drop when you was talking about
You
like
go
we
there?
talking about the cabal. I heard a quote. I'm not sure who said it. It's like from like maybe Aristotle or some shit. But the niggas say that the tyranny the tyranny isn't the tyrant, it's the people because they let it happen. They support this shit. They, you know what I'm saying? So the cabal we're looking at, and that would make sense. Like, let's give them this idea that there's some nefarious enemy against them and shit, when really it's just their fucking selves and their willingness to follow fucking other people. They don't know where the fuck they're going because, yeah, it is more of us than them. Just imagine, like, all of a sudden you watch the NBA, Lakers and fucking Clippers and shit, and all of a sudden nigga passed the ball and the nigga just threw the ball to the side and walked off. Nigga walked off the court. And nigga, you can't make them play and shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it comes down to is we the ones in full participation. Yeah, they may have the strings, but like we the ones that got the strings attached to us, and we it's like a handshake, and as long as they can keep us blaming other people or blaming some invisible motherfuckers and shit, we ain't never
Right.
gonna take accountability for ourselves. Like, you know what? Fuck this bitch, I'm out.
Deuces.
You said it right there, bro. Taking accountability for self, bro. Cause we could point the finger at every fucking body else. You know how you point the finger and it's like your finger make the it may look like a gun with the
Three
trigger on the
pointers.
top. With your thumb is the trigger. I mean, or the hand. What is it called when you pull back the yeah, you caught back the trigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
You
Yeah,
talking about the
the
hammer?
hammer.
yeah,
The
the
hammer.
hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hammer. Okay, so the hammer is always pointed back at you. You feel me? Your thumb is pointed back at you when you pointing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's pointing right in your face. The thumb is pointing right back at you every time. The arrow is on you. So it's like this, right? We could keep on pointing the finger, playing the blame game, right? And calling ball, which is when the umpire called ball, he called ball, which is the cabal, right? Man, that nigga called the foul ball, bro. And we gonna talking about a cabal? Man, y'all better stop playing with these fucking words like that and just
And here's
really
one
think about
word
what
that
you're doing.
people ain't here go a word people ain't really grasping, right? You know how like you got cooperation, right? That mean when them people came in, them was ops. You know how they say my enemy's enemy is my best friend. That's what a co-op is a co-op position of people that merge together. So once you merge, you become stronger, and they teach us to divide and not merge.
Right.
It's why they get stronger and we get weaker. And even if we do try to make something happen, they make them people that made something happen merge with them and sell their soul right back out. So we right back at ground zero every time we get some type of uplifting from any race that's on the bottom tier. So once you get a George Carlton talking that shit, once you get a Malcolm X talking that shit, once you get a talking the shit against the system, it's already designed. It's designed to pay these motherfuckers off
You
and
saying the corrupt?
gatekeep the whole truth. Yeah, gatekeep the whole truth
You
and
saying the
build
corporation was
corporations.
corrupt?
Yeah, yeah.
That
It's a
the
opposition.
corporation was corrupt.
Yeah, it was corrupt. That was deep too. Corruption.
Even
Cooperation, corruption. I should have named that the whole title that cooperation, corruption.
It's like this,
yo,
right?
even
It's like this, right? We can let these motherfuckers tell us that
You
we
got
steady
it,
got
Beck
disease
Mental.
and
yeah,
let everybody be pushed at a disease, right? By listening to the frequencies that they push out, right? They could tell everybody that cancer is killing everybody, right? Guess what, bro? I found out a cure for cancer. Stop
Honestly,
fucking smoking.
Man, the
honestly,
cure for cancer is just like I'm gonna tell y'all the cure
Stop
for
smoking
cancer for
tobacco
real.
products.
You
Stop
gotta
putting bacteria in
actually
the food.
hypnotize
Stop.
yourself. Listen, this real talk. You have to hypnotize yourself and tell yourself you ain't got that shit. Ain't no chemotherapy, none of that shit gonna work. Look, I ain't got no fucking cancer. Fuck what this dumb doctor talking about. That's the best medicine. Fuck what y'all talking about. I'm not
Hey,
fucking
that's
sick,
a
bro.
backdrop. I agree, bro, because this is the reason why they diagnose you. When they diagnose you, they give you the symptoms, and then you start feeling like these things are taking place in your body because then it entered in your mind that shit, bro. You got low back spasms, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got fucking lupus. You know what I mean? Like once you own up to the diagnosis, they telling you how long you gonna die, and you knows it. So
if I may for just a moment, I'll agree there is no cancer. What we truly experience is nothing but nutrient deficiencies. So in other words, if you're deficient in any nutrient, there's going to be a counter effect somewhere on your body, whether it's acne, your lungs, whatever, and it's also tied into not only your diet but your lifestyle. So if you have a lazy ass lifestyle and you eat chips and McDonald's and processed foods all day, then your body's gonna promote these deficiencies that they call cancers. So on the flip side, the best thing that you can do if you do have some ailment in your body is to stop eating and then provide your body with the herbs that have nutrients and phytonutrients that will counteract the shit that you've been putting in your body for 10, 15, 30 plus years.
yeah. It's like
back.
you gotta know your salts. The salts you're deficient. Like there's like this thing called like zodiac salts. Like
Oh, I
every
never heard of
person that's
that.
born under a zodiac, there's certain zodiac sign. They're gonna have certain salts that are deficient and certain salts that they have more of. And they have to find that balance of
Oh,
those things.
now
And
I
it's
gotta
like
look that up.
at this call. It's a book called The Salt of Salvation. It's kind of like a Christian book, but the dude basically it's the guy who pretty much created our whole understanding between like virus and germ understanding and shit. They fucking the big pharma do not want people knowing about this guy and shit, and this guy's books and shit.
Yeah.
But and basically like the body needs to be oiled in a certain way and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have like in your zodiac chart, your birth chart or whatever, and your month and all that stuff and your all
Mm.
that other shit. It'll tell you what oils you need because there's a chart for them too for the plants and the salts and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like basically what this dude found is that people who learn this and apply this information to their own existence and shit have like fucking they don't be fucking having these ailments that other people have and shit. You know, this is the dude that studied the influenza and shit. And keep in mind, the word influenza comes from the word influence, and the etymology of influence is
Wow.
stars. It has to do with the influence of the stars and shit, the wandering stars and shit. You know, remember we're in a great giant cosmic system, and there's many systems inside that system, so they're all tethered together, and they all have affecting reflection properties against each other and for each other. So like that's one of the reasons to keep us heavily distracted. So we don't go back and find out these secret ancient truths and stuff and apply it to us, to ourselves, because Big Pharma don't want you knowing. They're not going to teach you the fucking truth, because that cuts out their fucking domination over the fucking masses and shit. To keep them dumb, ignorant is how we're able to do it, bro. Like I swear to God, like in the hood, you got a nigga that always wants to get bud, but he too scared to find his own connection and shit. So you like, I got you. He come to your house, he give you the $50, the $60 for the, you know what I'm saying, the $20, the $10, and you run over across the street, you got the connect and you got the plug and shit. You cut it out or get double and shit, and this nigga attached to you forever to get his fucking bud. Same situation.
As above, so below.
Yeah, and then like Henry Agrippa says, the truth, the sickness and the cure come from the same place within.
Oh yeah. That's just like if I remember correctly, any cure always has the poison. So it's like there's nowhere around it. Whenever you're dealing with, I'll say their magic, you're gonna get both sides, whether you want to or not. But I guess that's all part of being balanced.
Cool. So boom. Now that was one segment. We about to take a we about to take a 10-second
So
about to take a 10-second break, and we're gonna talk about something else.
bet.
Yeah, I don't care what y'all bring up, or I'll bring up something. It don't matter. But what y'all want to talk about?
I'm open.
Cool. We could talk about this. All right. Now the same. We're gonna talk about what we was talking about, but we're gonna shift it to. Do you think this same system and all this shit applied back on the people we call our ancestors? Right. Now the people I call my ancestors is before um Akunat and Nefertiti. You know what I'm saying? It's like before names. So that's how I look at it, before it was even names. But far as what we know, far as the masses is concerned, do you think this same system been running since the days of the Mormons and the Pharaohs and the Romans and all that shit?
Well, there's nothing new under the sun. So I personally believe that all of this stuff has been going on since the very beginning. It's just changed slightly. Like 1933, they were using paper. Well, excuse me, they were using, before 1933, they were using gold and silver. Then they went into paper. And now slowly but surely, we're about to go into electronic currency. So it's still a currency that's utilizing us to transfer money or energy from one place to the other. It's just how it's looked or how it's perceived is entirely different. So I think this has been going on. There's nothing new. This is the same shit, same families, whoever, just doing what they do and what they know best. That's just my opinion.
The voltage, right? You talk about the voltage when they're using the energy, which is the circuit
Well,
board, right? We all
so
on this board. It's a board
right,
game, right? And it's the
exactly,
circuit.
yeah,
Everything is circular, which is a cycle. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. A cycle that
Which is
never ends.
The
Yep.
cutting. The circuit is a kit. You know how they got health kits. They got all of these different type of kits, right? So like
Wise,
we
do it
we can
yourselves.
use our surnames. You know what I mean? Which is on the circuit. So like when we start realizing that this energy, like you were saying, they utilizing this a new form of currency that's coming. You know what I mean? But the truest form of currency that we keep missing is
Yeah,
just our natural exchange. What we doing right now is the same thing because we
right.
exchanging and we paying attention, which is paying. You feel me? And we can get
Attention.
a charge from it. We get signals, vibrations. Everybody get bright ideas about everything that we share and listen to. So it's about that exchange, and we missing that natural exchange. That's why they got us chasing false prophets and false things that make us profit when we the only ones that is profitable.
Right.
You know, don't nothing.
That's
No, nothing have value without you. You put the value to everything that you see, thinking about, what you do. You know, you put the value to the meal that you ate. Was it enough? You know what I mean? You value that. You know what I mean? It's like
I hear.
once we start seeing it, bro, I'm telling you, bro. I think Bro Sanchez was saying, ain't no way that you can't uh utilize something about some change or something like or value or something. You know what I'm saying? But like when you get a difference or something, it's still a value. To even make a
Mhm.
change, it's dealing with the value or something. You know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
value what you believe in, so you willing to make that change. So you know what I mean? If you value yourself as always, you know what your worth is. So they knew that we naturally knew that we had a worth. We was worth something. You feel what I mean? We was
Yes.
naturally worth something. So they play on these. They play on the wordplay of the situation to make us chase what we naturally was given, and motherfuckers end up wanting what was given. You know, they have wants. You know, you want to live, you want to have a car, you want to have a house, but you was given it all. You was given the biggest house that you can even imagine. If you even stepped outside the box that you was in and just
Right.
really lived in your house,
Your house.
in your house.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
when you mentioned the whole energy thing, I look at energy for what it is. So whether it's the money that we spend or the time that we have to spend or the money that we gain from spending our time and money or energy, what have you, it's all interconnected. They're all one and the same. It's just again our perception because we're not seeing that time get converted into a financial amount, and we're not, well, sometimes we do see it when we when we spend our money on something that we really want. We watch that money go and you're like, damn man, that was a lot of money. But on the flip side, when we spend our money, and this is just going back to what you said, when we spend our money and we're getting something that we wanted of value, it doesn't matter how much it costs, it doesn't matter how
But
long we
look,
work for it.
but
The moment we get it, we're like, yes.
hey,
That's
but
what the fuck I'm
listen,
talking
bro.
about. Right.
Here go the trick to the whole money scheme. Here go the trick to it, right?
Right.
The shit ain't worth nothing. It's worth
Right.
nothing, right? Now that's where the currency comes in. At this is they need us to spend the money and make the
Yeah.
money to make the world go around, right?
Mhm.
So if 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 ain't nobody making no money, ain't nobody spending no money, then now it's the point comes to where is the fucking gold? Y'all keep fooling us with this paper and shit. Where is the resources? We don't want to. We want our own oil. We want our own gold. We want our own diamonds. We want our own in that currency, not in no paper. And you saying,
Are
yeah,
you
you
willing
worth
to?
$1 million. No, give me $1 million worth of gold then. Don't give me $1 million worth of paper. You see what I'm saying? That's the trick. But
Facts.
go ahead.
But so what I would say to that would be just as long as we're willing to work for it. As an example, right now due to COVID, shit changed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit got shut down. A lot of these small, medium businesses got, they lost a lot of business. They couldn't keep their doors open. But on the flip side, if if mm, if anyone was paying attention, they'll see that there's certain areas that did not really get affected by COVID the way everything else did. So there is an opportunity for everyone to make a difference in their life financially outside of
No,
their
I
system.
gotta cut you right there.
Go
Ain't
ahead.
nobody got affected by no goddamn COVID. Nobody, bro. They just told you people died from that shit and they died from something else.
No,
It
I ain't
was
talking
not
about the
COVID.
deaths. I'm just
Oh
talking
my
about
bad.
businesses
Oh, you
getting
talking
closed down.
about the whip
Yeah,
the backlash. I know what you're saying. My bad. Go
right.
ahead.
Hey, no pressure. No, but ultimately, it's just saying that it still gives us an opportunity to create different businesses that are actually making a difference in the community. Like you're actually solving problems in the community that needs to be solved, to opposed of, I don't know, a muffin shop or a coffee shop. There's already so much of them. Why would anyone want? Not saying that it's a bad idea, but that's how these small businesses just they fall apart. Most of us we think that, oh, Yeah, get a business, do it in your passion, make it work. It's not really that easy. You got to have capital. You got to have liquid money in the bank just in case hard times, COVID pops up. You can still keep your doors open, regardless of if there's customers walking through your door or not. So all I'm getting to is just saying that everyone has an opportunity here to make a shitload of money. But if you're sitting on your thumbs, just doing nothing with your life, then you're really gonna miss this opportunity, no matter which direction, whether it's health, food, politics, logistics. There's so many different opportunities out here. Um, just especially if your business is geared towards, how can I say this, where it's some type of plant based or something that is, how can I say this, like when
Healing
you're
and
like
new
when
something that is
Ooh,
important to the people, and you know that the people need this vibration in the world right now, so they looking for that. It's like providing the proper service. It's like you know that motherfuckers, just like the boys on the block who hustling, right? They know how to
you,
get the packs that the motherfuckers want, so they
shit
can
that's
sell
smoking.
them. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to know you got it's like supply and demand. You got to
Right.
know which is what the people is in demand for, what the
What they
real
need.
needs of people are, and provide that. See, but
Right.
the whole key of all of that is doing for self, literally, because can't nobody do it for you but you, right? And we can't catch up in this money race or this dollar race.
Right.
They call it dollars. Dollar race is not the race that we should be winning. You feel me? That's what
uh,
we do, man.
see, right there, man. Me and you always clash on that because I'm a fine believer of at least it's too easy to get it right. I ain't saying bust your ass for it. I'm saying build a avenue right
Yep.
to where money is not a factor. You're not even thinking about the money. It just come with the goal to help you complete your goal. It's when
Hmm.
people chase the money, and now that's where we have problems. But when you just like, man, what I'm trying to do is get me some fucking land
Yes.
and build me a 1 acre garden, right? That tractor costs money. To get there, it costs money, and to survive long enough to make it happen costs money. So we can't just say fuck money because
Hmm.
they already winning that part of the game. I wish in the beginning when Mansa Musa told them
Hey,
fuck money.
hey,
Mind
I
you,
agree.
his slaves
But
had
at the same
gold.
time, hey, at the
Excuse me.
same time, bro, what you saying, right? You had to be living. You was already living to go get any of that before money was there, right? Before you had the money in your hand, you was still living to
Man,
go get it. It's
I
like
know
this,
I ain't
right?
going
Check this
broke for
out,
y'all
right?
niggas talking about fuck money. That's all I'm saying.
Right? This is how crazy it is, right? Drop because people will work a week in a hole, right?
Hmm.
Right? With nothing, just to catch a little something and be knowing that they putting themselves in the hole. Literally, bro. Did you hear that? Like, and you would say, go ahead and do it. Do your 40 hours a day. Okay, cool. If it's about money and it's a check, right? If it's about a check, $15 an hour, $20 an hour ain't worth a fucking thing. Because
Right.
if I can sit on the block and sell,
No, it's not worth it.
bro, hold
You
on.
right.
If I can sit on the block and provide a service, my own business. I got my own plug. I got my own connect. I ain't robbing nobody. I
And it
ain't
still
make
ain't
nobody
worth it
come to
though.
me. I set up shop. Just listen, bro. I set up shop just like everybody else did. We got a shop on the corner store. It's called the gas station. You can go in there and
Mm.
shop for whatever the fuck you want. All kind of shit that people is addicted to. They got all kind of drugs in there. They just don't call it drugs. Cigarettes is a drug. Alcohol
Potato chips is a drug. Go ahead, you
Sugar.
got it.
Sugar.
well,
Hmm.
cotton candy is a drug. Chocolate is a drug. Chocolate is a major fucking drug. But they sell
Sugar cane. That's what they don't understand. Did you know 10 pounds of, I'm gonna let you get it right back, Huey, and then you gotta wrap it up because you know everybody wanna come in because niggas on one right now. Everybody on one. Did you
come
know
on in,
10
bro.
bags of hold on, I'm giving it right to you. 10 bags of sugar is equivalent to 1 gram of cocaine. That's why it's sugar cane and cocaine, coca leaves, sugar leaf. It's all the
Wow.
same shit. But go ahead.
So now, okay,
Why? That's why I give you a rush. That's why cocaine give you a rush. That's
oh
why
Coca
sugar
Cola.
give you a rush. But you got it, Huey. Go ahead. My bad.
Hey, just like Coca Cola, right? Coke is Coke, it's cola, right? Now, uh, all these things are drugs that's being pushed on our neighborhood, in our blocks, right? But people don't realize that they're addicted to it. McDonald's, motherfucker, McDonald's French fries, the salt, motherfucker. I mean, like, I can go on and on, right? But
Hmm.
what they did is set up a product. Now they'll lock you up for doing the same thing when I'm just providing the service. I don't even gotta rob nobody or nothing. My shit is bumping just like they.
Excuse
But
me.
just because I'm selling weed or what they would call fucking a plant,
Marijuana.
it's a plant
Mm,
now, and it's a herb. Now they can go sell fucking whatever the fuck they want to do because they got it packaged up. You can even package your shit up, and they'll give you a bigger charge for packaging it up. Now this is how they scared the people mindset away from business mindset because this is what the business mindset is. It's the same thing as them pushing drugs or pushing a product on the block. Period.
in the big pharma.
Now, yeah, I'm saying it's just like okay, so we could push drugs on the block, but then they could
Hmm.
tell you to stop doing something because they said
All
it.
right, cool. Hey, let me do an interlude right quick, man.
No, all right,
Um,
1 second. Let me just end this real quick. All right,
all right,
my
cool.
point of
You
it
got
all
it.
is this, Bob. My point
Take
of
your time. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
you good. My point of it all was this, right? Motherfuckers can make more money on the block doing what they doing and not going to push no motherfucking clock. But they'll tell us to stop doing it or tell you, or they'll make you in fear of doing it because they'll tell the cops to come and watch you and stop you from getting the cut in because they ain't getting their cut. This is what it's all about. This is what took them so long to make the weed legal worldwide because they wanted to figure out how to make a cut off of it. Period. They want their
Hmm.
hands in the pot. And we allowed them to keep putting their hands in the pot by chasing dead motherfuckers that is worth nothing.
Exactly.
Drop. This is what's so crazy, bro. When you say that you know that money is worth nothing, but you still want to go get it, that is crazy.
Not wanna go get it. I need this shit. It's a good tool. Just like you need food. No, hold on. Stop, stop, stop. Just like you need food, transportation. Money helps to get these things done. Money helps because they done fucked the game up. Of course, it never should existed. I wish money never came into play. You absolutely right. But as of right now, you gonna lose with no money, man, in
Right.
so many aspects of life where you can be so much greater if you just had that devil currency. So now, boom, I can brush the devil off with some money. That's where Jay-Z say, brush your shoulders off. I'm not brush you all the way out. Now I can focus on my kids because I'm not worrying about this mortgage. I can focus on my career because I'm not worried about this light bill. I can focus on so much different things
Get your
just
life
because
on point.
money can just push it away without me having to even move a muscle. Just punch a couple numbers in, seeing that problem is gone. If I don't got no money, I got to deal with all these different problems. You see what I'm saying? And
You
I'm
heard,
pissed it's like that though.
have you heard
But
the
go
term
ahead.
more money, more problems? You ever heard the term more money, more problems, right? Right? So it's like this, right? When we chasing these dollars, we are chasing dead heads, which is heads and tails, right? This is the reason why people keep chasing their tail because the people who headed the tails is the one who we keep chasing, and they got heads and tails, so we keep chasing their tails, and they ain't even around to tell us the tails, but they left stories and a whole bunch of tails. And listen, man, we just headed for them. We headed for the tail. It's the craziest thing, right? Right? When people think that they need money or what you would call dollars to get ahead in life, when they got a head on their shoulders and they in life, this is the craziest thing ever in the world, right? Because, right, it's like this, bro. You ain't gotta pay for no lights. You shouldn't have to pay for food. They, it's so crazy, right? We know that. the trees, we could plant our own trees, and that the trees alone should be dropping fruit, vegetables, and we allow them to charge us for fucking bananas, apples, pears, and fucking uh, cherries. Idiots. Idiots. We really allowed them. Okay, what if don't nobody go in their stores and buy none of their shit no more? I say this all the time. What if don't nobody go buy another motherfucking car? Just think year in and year out, how many car lots is just packed with cars. Don't nobody get the motherfuckers. And then next year they gonna put some more cars out there. But they'll
Brand
tell
new.
you can't get no fucking there. Just think of how many houses is out here. Just think of how much land out this motherfucker that's out this motherfucker that they gonna tell you that you gotta buy it. And they ain't even create this motherfucker.
The middleman,
What the fuck?
just the
And,
middleman.
and if we can't come together as a people to know that we shouldn't be paying for life, because check this out. If money was a motherfucking must that you had to have it to live here on this plane that we live in, the animals would need it, the bees would need it, the birds would need it, the trees would need it. But guess what they doing? They paying attention. They paying with attention because they are attending this life that we in. So they out here just living free. And we think that we are better than them and we paying to be here on this motherfucker when you was just giving life. You didn't have listen, you didn't have to pay to fucking be here, bro. You was giving this motherfucking life, nigga.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
cool. Now, cool. Let's get a funnel going in right quick.
We
Um,
we
we got my hold on, stop, pause.
yeah.
We got we got we got we got Mr. Facts in the building, and we got
Hold on, baby. I'm over here.
all right, yeah,
Overflow
that's cool.
podcast.
I'm just calling the people in the building, and we got damn, I done caught a buzz. Hold on. What's the nigga name next to me? Balance Truth. Cool. And we got Huey P and we got me, right? So it's on me. I get to talk, right?
Yep.
And what I'ma say is y'all motherfuckers hit the like button, right? If y'all
Yep.
wanna hit the like button, I'll throw the cash app thing in there and y'all can go ahead and send a nigga some guap. Or y'all can hit the dislike button, right? And unsubscribe, or y'all can even share it, or y'all can even get the app and upload it to your own thing and just willy this shit. But what I'm saying is let's support everybody around the whole board, the whole stratosphere, the whole thing. And I'm about to bring into why I believe that I'm not from Earth. That's why I believe you,
Let go.
not you guys, because I don't think y'all just know. I just believe some people is earthlings. I just believe like they creed only is from the feet up, mine is from the head down. So it's a different thing. So when I say that's when you get stardust, that's when you get star alignments, that's when you get photosynthesis, that's when you get energy pools, that's when you get stratus clouds. That's when you get the energy of the day you was born.
Who wants to go next? If I may, if no one would like to go. So I
Got it.
as a flat earther, or for lack of better words, flat earther, I understand that the sun and the moon are out at the same time. Um, Depending on wherever we are, right? They're both local objects. So I believe that when we're born, the day we're born, the sun and the moon, they're out in certain constellations at a specific time. So as we're born, our soul, our energy, our feminine and our masculine energy comes from either the sun or the moon, and it channels that energy right into that soft spot at the top of your head. So just to correlate that with what you're saying in terms of us coming from stardust, as above, so below, I wouldn't be surprised if, so the saying goes, there's nothing new under the sun. So I assume that everything new would only be located above the sun. So I would have to take that away by saying, I wonder what happens before the energy, the feminine and the masculine energy, passes through the sun and the moon, and then the energy is then converted into the physical manifestation that was in your mother's womb, going through gestation for that 9-month period, 9 to 10 months, or what have you.
Hey, everybody there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
you still
sir.
there?
Sir,
Yeah,
drop.
this is Facts, Mr. Facts. Just
Hey, what's good, Mr. Facts?
hey man, just kicking back, just listening to y'all. I always get over here, man, and get a lot of enlightenment. You know, a lot of self awareness. A lot of people have. And, you know, you learn every day, learn something new every day. So it's always a good and a plus because if you stay stagnated, you won't get nowhere. You know, as far as your mind, you got to elevate your mind every day. So I'm always looking at getting enlightened, you know, by somebody or you know a couple of somebodies, you know, some things like that. But I wanted to add to a lot. I think y'all was talking about sweets earlier. Um, I'm friends with a lot of. I see if somebody got an accent, but I'm friends with a lot of Haitians where I'm at
Mm.
now. So a lot of Haitians, and they show me the the, uh, the point of sugar cane when we talk about sugar cane. So there's guys who actually sell sugar cane. Uh, it grows on different parts of the U.S. You know, it's really big over in Haiti and things of that nature. So they just show me how to cut it, how sweet it is. It's nectar, you know. And I usually do that if I want to get a sugar rush. I used to just take my little hacksaw, bow, hit the corners off, peel it down, you know, and suck on the sugar cane and spit the bark or whatever you want to call it out, you know, because it's real juicy. And a lot of people use that as like the modern day, back in the day, Chico sticks, candy, and that was for the kids and stuff like that. In like third world countries, Africa, like I said, Haiti, different places, Jamaica. You got a lot of
Mhm.
different places that they actually um, had stock and stuff like that, far as in picking their own sugar cane. And that was just they sweet tooth. That was their candy. That was our little dollar candy that we used to go and get, the 25-cent candies that we used to go and get. You just go to the field, wow, get you a nice piece of sugar cane, boom, and suck on it all day, you know? So it was pretty, like, you know, cost efficient, you know, as far as it don't cost you to get up and go and chop it down. Uh, that's one of my points that I was going at. I had another thing, another topic I heard y'all was talking about money, and I was knowing about a lot of these PUA loans, a lot of these SBA loans, and they were giving out trillions and trillions of dollars on the deficit with the American, and you know they already in deficit with a whole bunch. They owe a whole bunch of people. They don't. It's so much money out here, and they just actually giving everybody this money, loans, and people doing scams and all kind of stuff to
Yeah.
retrieve this money. So what I'm trying to say is that even in the near future, a pair of ran down shoes is going to be cost money to get. Like, I mean, resources. It's going to be like far as materialistic things that we took for granted. People are going to still want to get. Like, you think you're just going to get a fresh pair of sneakers like for the rest of your life until you like 90. You know what I mean? I just think the sources and it's going to run low. And what I'm saying, why I say running low, is that just imagine everybody on here on this panel probably played Monopoly before. Just
Yeah.
think we have one Monopoly board, but we have like 10 banks pour their money from other Monopoly boards, pour their money into one Monopoly board, and they're trying to buy up all the properties and the railroads. It's not enough money. It's going to be too much. It's
I'm
not
making
going to be
money,
enough
boy.
things to get. You feel what I'm saying? So you want to kind of be cautious about that. You know, but whatever you attain, if you buying houses, buying land, buying real estate, which I'm into, things that you want to try to obtain, because you know if you get caught like musical chairs, you know they played musical chairs when we was young. They taught us that game. It's a mind psychology game, anyway. But you play musical chairs, and the one that get caught left up, standing up, you know, got caught with they red-handed, and they out the game. You know, so basically, you want to be in the game, you want to be seated, you know,
Mhm.
at all times. So that's just my grapes. Let me get up off here. Let me pass the mic to somebody, but I just hitting on a few things, man.
Appreciate
This the
that.
facts. I'm out.
Yeah, that
That's
was
sweet.
fire too, right there. That was dumb fire.
Yeah,
Can
appreciate
I
that
can I
facts.
add on? Can I add on to what he was saying?
Absolutely.
So he was saying the source of the power. Like, so who do we owe this deficit to? Like the 21 trillion that we in debt to. Like that should be important. Like we're missing
Well,
we're
follow the
missing
money.
like
I,
the
I
Who
source.
controls the IMF? Who controls
I
the
got
IMF
one
and the
thing
Federal
for that.
Reserve?
Go ahead. I
No,
got
no, no.
one
That's
thing for it. Go ahead. You
mhm.
he on there?
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I'm
Go
good.
ahead.
No, I just got one thing for that. A deficit, like there, it's like a computer. It's like almost like typing on your typewriter. You know, we used to play as kids with a typewriter, and we just put up so many zeros, 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 zeros. It's like what they doing. Like it's not more like they putting out fake money, like a fake. You know, what I'm saying this is what it is. This is what the deficit is, and they say this is how much money
Exactly.
we got. So it's basically they printing their own money, they burning their own money. You know, you got the silver and the gold, you got all these different things. They took the African resources. We have a lot of things that they actually confiscated from the motherland, basically. You know, and so what they're doing is they're saying is that this much money. It's almost like somebody lying in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this, man. I got Bentley, so oh man, I got this, I got
Mhm.
that. So it's really like the government saying, yeah, we got this money, or we got this and that. But you really can't truly know what's going on a digitized system. It's digital. Like this is basically
Residual
Well,
digital too.
wait.
digital,
Hold on.
residual digitals, man. Yeah, I got you. You
Exactly.
know,
So
If I'm
that's
wait.
where I was going with it. So the
Mhm.
source is the problem. Like if we don't never identify the source, just like the corona shit, like why aren't we talking about the source of the shit? It could be somebody else about to spread some other shit. They just dismiss the source of the shit and blame it on China. We should be
Mhm.
really looking at like, the point of the whole thing, like because the money is our labor. It ain't like a value system. It's our work, our labor that we trade, and it's a barter and trade system. So they selling us. That's what they in debt.
Hey, who
We're
is
the
that
debt.
fat vegan? Who is that talking?
It's balanced truth.
Balance truth. You sound just like fat vegan, bro. That's crazy.
You,
But
you
never
said
mind.
that
Go ahead.
before. No, that's all I wanted to say. I was just trying to get y'all to look at the real
Hey,
problem.
but no,
Source.
but hold on. Here's how you fight back. You use the system against itself. So when we talking about like residual digitals, like it go like this. You had like somebody like Yuck Mouth, right? They make a song called "I Got Five" on it, right? That song is gonna be played forever. So when he passed away, it's still digits coming in because that's his shit. So it go to his kids. Now that's just using a part of the system where you can benefit. A lot of people, like right now, I know a lot of people rocking the unemployment thing and getting guap dough, more money they ever saw in their life, legitimately, just off unemployment, bro. Just knowing the system, knowing the grants, knowing the paperwork. It's so much paperwork out of here to leapfrog past people. You got people buying mansions for $13 because they know the paperwork. You see what
facts.
I'm saying? So if you say, man, fuck they paperwork and fuck all that, then cool, starve, cool. But if you just knew that part, like the truth is a mighty, mighty weapon, man. The truth, knowing something, ignorance is expensive as fuck. Not knowing something, man, you be done. Say, all right, let's go on a minute scale. Bull next door to you selling you grams of smoke for $20. You meet a motherfucker that sold it to you for 5. By you not knowing the motherfucker that sold it to you for 5, every time you spent 20 with this nigga, that's a $15 L off of ignorance. I just had to put it like that so it can get caught a little easy. But y'all go ahead.
That's the same way as rent and mortgage. You know what I mean? Or buying your house, buying the land, buying a car, renting a car. You know, I feel what you're saying. That's exactly how it's spinning, man. If you don't know it, knowledge is definitely some of our, way we look at knowledge is power is basically knowing than not knowing. Like I said, like I tell women that I meet all the time. I say it's better to know me than not to know me. And she said, "Why you say that?" I said, "Man, because I'm a real great person. I can help you out of things. I can talk to you about things. I can help you coach you. I can do different stuff, and it's better to know me not to know me. So I want you to feel the same way. So basically, when we both feeding off each other and we both giving each other advice and encouraging and different steps along the way. But that's how people got to feel about themselves, to be valuable. And you got to feel like yourself is valuable in this world, man. And what
For
you
sure.
can do and how you can
Hands
progress
down,
and how you can help.
for sure. I'll agree with that, hands down. You mentioned the mortgage. Not to segue or to change the subject, but a mortgage is a dead pledge. So in other words, like I don't know a lot, but I'm studying etymology. So you have to look at the root of the word. So when you look at a
Right,
mortgage, you're really talking about a morgue, right?
right,
And a morgue is a place where you house dead bodies to bury
right,
before you bury them. So again, it's like the money isn't money is a tool that's used, but the money itself is also dead because the money is backed. You know, the money itself has no real value. It's backed by
right,
us going to work. The more we go to work, then taxes get paid, and the corporation, United States, stays alive. So on the flip side, the same thing for the mortgage. As long as we go to work, we can still maintain a house. But on the flip side, what we really don't know is that our basic necessities. So your healthcare, your education, your house, your food, and your means of transportation should be taken care of by the government. In terms of what they stated back in 1933, um, I forget what the document was called, but essentially it was just telling us the people that hey, we taking your gold, it's not going to be the U.S. We're going to give you these Federal Reserve notes. It's not going to be backed by anything. So in other words, they're giving us this false promise, thinking that they're going to take care of all of our necessities because the people gave their gold.
right.
So in reality, I guess what I'm really trying to say is that if everything is just based off of us as individuals, how hard or how much we want out of life. So you'll have people who are content with being homeless. And I've met people, I've had conversation with homeless people, and they're saying, like, man, I'd rather be homeless than be a part of everything that's going on. I mean, I have
Yeah,
people, not me, this is them speaking. I have people who are homeless with me right next to me, who I could trust better than the actual people who are in my house. Not in my house, but like in my neighborhood. So again, it's just a dead pledge that I don't believe that we really understand these spells that we're saying whenever we open our mouths. Not saying in this conversation, just generally speaking, because a lot of the words that we're expressing have multiple meanings. And what are we really saying when we I guess spellcast these words or sentences?
yeah. I'm with you on that, and that's one thing I want
Yeah,
to
and a lot of us
clear
are
up.
just yeah.
I want to clear up that mortgage. Like I hate a mortgage. Like that's not what I'm into. I'm into wholesaling. Wholesaling is you basically I can spit an hour or two a game on wholesaling and turn everybody on this panel into wholesaling. Then you can actually go to like your suburbs and it's a lot of people that's underwater, a lot of white people that's underwater living above their means. Like, you know what I mean? They really just in it for the Joneses. Like, they got the cars, they keep the same up. They know how to do the 7 year, to file bankruptcy. They keep on doing it. I had a black girl that I was dating, and she was telling me, like, You don't want to do the mortgage, I mean, the bankruptcy, and why would you want to do that and abuse the system like that? I said, man, this hunky's abusing the system every day. They
Yeah.
doing it every day. There's the Arabs coming over here. It's different foreigners coming over here abusing the system I'm talking about on a frequent basis. So what I was saying about mortgage, I'm a wholesaler. Wholesaler,
Mhm.
you can take the house right from under somebody that's lacking on back taxes, liens, their mortgages, that the house is underwater. Far as it's a real estate term, but it's a whole bunch of that you can just really go over, take over their house just by with the knowledge without no money. I'm talking about without any money. All you gotta do is take a copy of a purchase agreement to help them sell a house, get them back, and then telling, listen, I got a buyer for you. You can sell their house. You get them to sign it. You got 45 days to look for it, and you get it for like probably about, you're looking to get about 40 cents on the dollar, 30 cents on the dollar, for their home. Basically, you're going to end up paying the mortgage off, and then it's going to be enough equity in the house where you can be able to either give them people a new start with like 10, 15,000, you taking, capitalizing on the rest. That's if you don't want, if they're not totally underwater, where you can actually take over the whole property and they're just be happy from get under that mortgage. Mortgage with bad
Right.
credit. White people really think about credit like they'll blow their brains out if they get a 400 credit score. Sometimes if you was living that life, you know what I mean, and you were just
Mhm.
living off of credit and you was getting the Barkley black cards, like Jay-Z and all them doing the Barkley cards and all that crazy stuff. So it's like a whole bunch of psychological warfare on that. And I was just saying,
Right.
I'm a personal hater of mortgage. I don't believe a man or a woman should be in a 30, now they try to break it down to 50, 15 years, and all they did was jammed everything in to 15 years to own your house, but it's really still gonna be, you might die owning that house, man.
Right.
And it's crazy that our grandmothers and
Mhm.
all our grandmothers probably on this panel, or great grandma, whoever, they probably still they got it own their house, but it's a small house, probably about 60,000 in some areas, 80,000 in some areas. But you gotta think in some areas that's just like over $500,000, $3 million homes. People outdoing their neighbors and want to outdo their kids, and so everybody want to look good, but really underwater and they barely making it. So you can easily take over somebody's house. That's just my little thing. But wholesaling, I got a whole another. Oh man, I'm an animal on that. But we'll talk about something on that.
Hey, can I
Hey,
add
bro,
value
what's up?
onto
Hold
that?
on, hold on, hold on.
Oh,
Hey, what's up
all
with
right.
the magazine, bro? You still rocking with the Addicted magazine?
Addict, yeah, Addict magazine. I still got everything going, man. I got all these embroidered clothing and everything, man. I'm about to make it. Like I said, I still got that the Vegas edition, which I ain't push out. And then me and my man's down in New Orleans, he just got done doing that 22 years behind bars, and we doing the 10 years out of Katrina, 10 years in, 10 years out, and it's basically, but we gonna have all segments all over the US, but we just use different stages. So I got the New Orleans edition coming, and then but it's gonna still, like I said, it's gonna have a lot of people from Ohio and everywhere around sectors and stuff. But you just gotta broaden it up. I got a whole bunch of articles. I love doing that, man. It was just on pause, man, because I like what I'm saying, I was overwhelmed with a lot of stuff, and I was every time I go to different cities and I was doing that magazine, I only had me. I formulated teams when I went to cities. I formulated models. I formulated photographers. I formulated business ventures, clubs. They were inviting me. So it's like I was
So
telling people that I
basically,
had
you
a
had
magazine.
like street teams
Yeah,
formulated just by your presence, and
yeah,
when you leave, you got a street team there, and then when you go to another city, you
right,
build a whole new street team,
right.
and that's
Mm-hmm.
dope.
A
That's
Without
fire.
collective.
nothing, like I'm talking about, models was waiting on me. I had people going in the club with me, and everybody was, we was all bonded. Like I could talk to them on the phone from Florida to Atlanta to like Houston, and I go places. And then when I meet up with people, when I get off the plane, it was almost like it was an entourage that we was all meant to be because our conversation. And then I like hit them in the gut where I can really understand a person and find their why. We always got to find out a person's why. And when you
Yeah.
find out they why, you know the reason why they motivated to do whatever they do. you know. And so I always tap into somebody's why, and then I get to find out a lot about an individual.
Yeah,
That's
that Wyatt Crawford song. What's going on, man? Somebody else just came up here, man. Who was? And that is dope as hell, though, bro. But somebody else just came up here, man. Let them grab the mic. I, man, my eyes, man. I need my glasses for real, bro. But no, it's at the bottom, bro. What's his name, bro? He got a dope ass icon. Hold on, let me zoom
I
my
can't
screen.
can't can't really see it.
Say
But
something.
Great
before I
light,
forget,
brother. How y'all doing?
I
hey,
knew that
peace to
was
you, bro.
your ass, man. That's why I was acting funny. Hey, but go ahead, man.
Peace to you, brother. Hey, so I wanted to mention that before
Nigga so goddamn funny,
who
bro.
you brought up the bankruptcy. A bankruptcy is a viable tool to really to really flow through this commerce through the sea, right? Um, so, but the thing is, you don't want to do the bankruptcy to your personal. That's why you would like you in any and every adventure that you take part on, you want to create a tax ID and a DBA associated with that way. So in case it does go under, you can file bankruptcy under that corporation, and it's not touching your personal. That's the benefit. Well, that's one of the
Yeah, I think
that's
dude got
one
up
of the
there.
ways
I ain't
to
sure I gotta look. My
that's one of the ways to really again go through the sea. Once you complete that process and you separate yourself from the system, you'll have a public side and you'll have a private side. Your public side will be represented by your corporations that you create, while your private side will be the real breathing you, the one that really engages with the actual living people. And again, the flip side, your corporations is the fictitious entity that engages with all the other corporations out there. So again, that was just to add value in terms of the bankruptcy, how you would want to do the bankruptcy to your corporation, to that adventure that you not even adventure, that personal interest. You will be able to, because you can always do a you all
endeavor.
you can always be a sole prop, right? But when you are a sole prop, you are 100% liable. So if something was to happen, you can potentially be sued or will be sued by the opposition. So on the flip side, you create a corporation that separates you from the corporation, and the corporation gets sued, and you don't have to worry about anything that's in your name or that you control under your trust. So again, that was just
Isn't
to
that
add that
isn't
value.
that when, like, let's say if I made a company, right? And I
Yeah.
and I call it Eric Davis, and I isn't that when I have to capitalize like my whole entire name?
Well, your name is already capitalized. Just look at your driver's license. You don't have to state
Right.
your
And I was
middle name.
going
Your
to that.
your whole
I was getting into that.
no, no,
I was
no,
saying
bro.
like, you ever
Hold on,
notice how like they
stop.
have our names capitalized on our gravestones?
But listen, look, capitalizes that's the straw man thing. That's the clone of you. This is why you always gotta sign off to the capitalized names. Like if you go to court, they gonna have your
Right.
shit in all caps, right? Now you gotta sign off to that saying that's you. That's making a opposite of you because they know they can't own ownership of your body itself. You gotta give them ownership. This is why when I tell y'all the devil can't lie to you, he only can deceive and trick you. So now boom, you got these all caps, right? You going to court. If you never raise your hand and sign off to that, that's not me, bro. My name is not spelt like that.
Exactly.
That's not me. But you got to
wait,
get them
hold on,
permission to make a clone of you to even prosecute you.
but
But
drop,
go ahead.
but drop. That's the point. You're right now, unless you went to the court and said, "Hey, I am of age of majority." If you didn't put in your paperwork stating that I'm not lost at sea, they're looking at you as a kid. You are still considered a minor in legal eyes. So on the flip side, yeah, you may not you can say all this you want, but your parents signed you off to them with your
No,
birth
no,
certificate.
no,
So until you claim own hold on,
no,
bro. Let me finish. Until you claim
no,
ownership
No,
of
no,
your
no.
birth
You right.
certificate,
Okay, cool.
I
But you
can I can
always can disown that shit though. You always can disown that all that shit. And when they ask you your name, you just give them
yes.
a name your ass made up. And they say, "What's your social security number?" I don't fucking got one. Can I take your fingerprint? No, I did not commit a crime. And fuck y'all, get the fuck away from me. And you can literally live life like that. It's when you do some fuck shit. Now you got a case. Now you got to explain the straw man.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ain't did nothing in life, man, my name is Abracadabra. Get your ass away from me, bro. What's your social? I don't got one, bro. I'm from fucking Mars, bro.
Exactly.
I just landed last week. Some shit like that, bro. They can't have jurisdiction over your absolute body unless you give them permission. That's all I'm saying. And we do give them permission, like you said, with the ID
Verbally.
card,
That's true.
with the it's all
And
contracted.
verbally.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is
That's true.
verbal ain't gonna work. It's when you
Everything
signing
is
shit. It's
contracts.
all the pen mightier than the sword. It's when that John Hancock submits itself to that system. That's the trick. And
Lose
then why you think
connection.
they took cursive out of school? Huh? Do you know these kids ain't
Why?
practiced cursive in 10 years? So ain't no signatures no more. Now I damn near 10. Now look, and plus, when you write in cursive, that's a you writing straight from your soul. That's why nobody cursive writing look the same. That and you actually vibing too long in fucking school, connecting the words together, and then you will realize why it's called a curse of what, a curse of the words. So then you write it in cursive. So now you see why Ari just printed. Now they want everybody to print everything and dumb everybody back down. Just print. Print your name and then sign. How the fuck these little kids gonna sign something and they don't even know cursive? So they gonna print their name and then they gonna print their initials. See how dumbed down they made it? Off like, but we the OGs. We the right? Remember? But nah, we know cursive. We
That's true.
mind you, that's
That's
the
true, bro.
same thing they hieroglyphics. But go ahead, you got it.
No, that's true. What you saying? That's so true. Because if you know that you can drive a car, operate a motor vehicle, if you never filed for no license, they'll never got you in the system for stopping you or anything. Because it's
Exactly.
really in their constitution. You can operate a motor vehicle, but if you went down there ever to get your temps or anything like that, then they got you in their system. Like that's why I realized what you're saying, Mayor, and that's what it came to me. I was like, man, I did study on that. I was like, people, I see a lot of stuff like on doing research that people driving a car and they own a vehicle and they don't even have a license because they never got pulled
Right.
over, they never got stopped. It's in their constitution that you can do as long as you ain't have it registered with them or anything like that. So yeah, I feel that's 1,000, man. That's 1,000 right there. As far as the signature, what you saying?
They try to get you with everything, but don't understand there's always loopholes in everything.
Right.
Yeah, and you can't enter into a contract not knowing.
Exactly. Because you in that moment you listening to it, be like, some don't sound right. Either you say yes or no, that's up to you. If you fall for that, that's on you. Motherfucker need to wake up. Take back control of their selves, man. Stop trying to live for others. I know y'all go through that shit too, man. Trying to talk to these people and ain't nobody trying to listen to what you really got to say. Feel like only time people listen is when you on these panels or you somewhere around people like this. But it's hard to find people like us, man. I
Ain't
wish the
lying.
whole world was like this.
Especially when you got to put them people in your business, man. I'm talking about people got to go and get some kind of help, the Jewish Center and all these different kind of. This one girl I knew said she was getting some help from the Jewish centers and things of that. Man, when she told me that, and I asked them what they have her do. Man, they exploited her whole life. I'm talking about they took her down. They broke her down to her. I'm talking about just to give her a piece of change. They broke her down to. I'm talking about any last compound that she had going on with herself. She was exploited. You know, it's just they made her jump through loops. They wanted to know routing numbers. They wanted to know I'm talking about any piece of jewelry she owned, anything. They was on her, man. Like if they gonna give you that money, they want to exploit you. You know, I hate that anybody that get into a situation where, or you know, a lot of our women, you know, they take situations because, like they say, you know, that it's the black male is lesser black male, and you know, like we was going to White Court, so there's a lot of women being born than men, basically, you know, and this is just all analysis and stuff like that. Cause they doing trickery about everything from hospitals and babies being born and what gender and all this crazy stuff. But anyway, that a lot of women do seek help because we do end up getting, some of us get killed, some of us go to jail, you know, trying to like overthrow the system. You know, people be thinking that you just out here doing corrupt, but really some people be really trying to overthrow the system and try to live off the grid. And sometimes you be in the hood and doing things like that, and your whole purpose is trying to get out of this thing. I just want to make this, I just want to land there, I want to get this, I want to get this, you know. And it's basically you sometimes you get caught up the majority of the time if you in the light like that. But most of the time, I was just saying, to get back to where I was at, was just talking about the woman always seeking more help from the system, and because of, you know, the lack of the responsibility that we put forth as black males, you know what I mean, the most dominant figure that's here, like, period. You know, we threaten.
You mean lack of resources,
yeah. But I teach the kids, like, anytime I get I have like women that have kids or something like that, I teach them in the elephant in the room theory. That's something I was brought up with. You know, no matter how many billionaires in the room, how many millionaires, how many thousandaires in the room, you that special person. Ain't nobody like you. You know what I'm saying? You hold weight, and the people is threatened by you. You know what I mean? I don't care where I'm at. Sometimes I go in an all-white establishment. I make them feel uncomfortable. I swear to God, I never feel uncomfortable anywhere. I can go out into the most prestigious, laid back. People come in, I'm talking how I want to talk. I'm asking for service. You know, I'm giving stuff back if stuff don't taste right. I'm Starbucks. I'm giving the coffee back. I'm doing everything I want to do if I want to do it for the service. You can't be a service for something and not dictate the right service. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gotta treat you with the utmost. And if you don't like something, you smoke them right there. Bam. Look, I don't like this, man. Period. Take this back. Give me my money back. This it's on. A lot of people don't understand that they be thinking, they be bowing down when they go and get services, and they be accepting whatever they want to accept that somebody give them. Man, no, that's not how it goes. Put your foot down.
You
Teach
can
your
say
woman how
so.
to do it. Teach your woman how to do the same thing, man. I'm out. Go ahead.
You get taken advantage more
Yeah,
than any God does, because they not able
yeah.
to think as quick as we are. I wouldn't say that, but you know what I'm trying to say. Now if you want to say, since they're looking for the help, of course they probably looking for us for that type of mental stability or
It,
Hey,
guidance.
I think
who
that was the
just came up on the panel, man? I
oh
told you my shit far away.
that it's Hunter again. I lagged
All
out.
right, cool. All right,
Yeah.
y'all finish building.
But I like that point, and I guess this will be a good point to kind of go into something else based off of what Drop said in the last stream. So I like how you mentioned pretty much you building up the woman in your life to um benefit you in any way, shape, or form, right? So for me, I myself, all right, Drop, you mentioned polygamy, right? Having multiple women or multiple wives, what have you, in the last drop, the last stream that I was on. And I personally would like to be in a situation where I have three women that are working, not necessarily working for me, but working under me, that's utilizing one of the different avenues I have to make money, in terms of her having to work for somebody else, getting their money for nickels to pennies on the dollar. While on the flip side, they or she, whatever, will be making the money directly from me, and then I can pay her what she's really worth to oppose the dollar amount that someone else says, hey, you only need 16 or 20. Because at the end of the day, that's only like $100 some odd dollars every day. That's not a lot of money. So what do you guys think about polygamy?
I love polygamy. This is fact. I was telling them on the last segment about a polygamy relationship that I'm actually getting into, man. I know it's crazy, man. Sometimes I be tripping, man. Sometimes I be feeling. It seems like to a panel, y'all really don't know me, man. You know what I mean? So it's kind of seemed like, people can be making things up, man. It's kind of weird though, man. And sometimes I be getting the presence like, damn, man. This is kind of weird, but no, this is really happening in my life. Like this is really going on in my life, and I'd have had bad relationships where it never happened because the communication was so shut down. I mean, we wasn't on the same page, and plus I wanted to cheat. Maybe she wanted to cheat because it was just getting basic after years and years. It was just basic and built and basic, but it came and left you stagnated. So when I came into this, I started looking at a lot of like Brother Polite. I was looking at Brother Polite. I was looking at a couple of different Moors, a couple of different people's aspect on it. So when I said, man, okay, man, when I get with my queen, I'm gonna have to let her know what condition I am to be able to condition her thinking. She condition what I'm thinking. But like I'm saying, I'm not trying to dictate the situation. I'm just letting you know what I'm about before we get to that crossroad. So like a lot of people leave that out the shelf. They leave that off. They don't tell a woman everything. It's like 9 times out of 10. Sometimes if you tell a woman the whole thing, look, I want you to be a prostitute for me. I'm just saying this is just hypothetically talking. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if you tell a woman exactly what you want out of her and what you want her to do, and she can tell you exactly what she want out of you, then y'all probably will have a better relationship that's lasting forever. But most people hide the fact that what they really want to merely do with a woman.
Right.
And what I do,
Yeah,
I
I
just
heard you.
came up front. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was talking to my girl. And the
That's some.
whole thing is what he's saying is absolutely right. It's like you gotta be upfront. If you're not upfront, like then it, like a lady is all about expectations, what she expect. Like say you call her every single day. If you quit calling her, that's a problem for her. Might not be a problem if you didn't call her every day. It's
You
just the
condition it.
fact they expected you to do this. So right off top, if you like you said, if I want you to get your shit together, right, and off top you tell them that they're gonna strive to get their shit together to fuck with you as a king, right?
Right.
And off top, if I need to get on your level, right? She will bring you to her level if you're not on her level. Long as it's off top and they want to deal with whatever going on, they at least they not going in the blind. Put it like that. But go ahead.
No, I agree with you. Just to be transparent, my dad wasn't in the picture, so you know what I'm saying. I learned from not only my mistakes but my boys' mistakes. So on the flip side, my boys, oh man, yeah, man, just lie to them, tell them whatever, man. It don't matter. It this, that, and the third. But that created more problems for me in the long run. I mean, like I had some pretty crazy chicks in my time, and I'm not saying that I'm some dog or anything like that. But there was a point where um yeah, it just created lying just created more problems than anything. So when I started being more straightforward, letting them know exactly how I feel, what I'm looking for, what I don't want them to do, or whatever the case may be, I saw better results. But there was still a limitation, and that would be based off of the mouthpiece. So it's like if I wasn't able to hold a solid conversation, if I wasn't able to kind of like figure out their traumas, get to know them as an individual, it would eventually just squander. It would just go like all the value in everything that it started off on just went to nothing fast. So that would be something else that I add on. Like you got to be able to talk, pick their brains, get to know the things that hurt them as an individual, because those traumas are long lived. It's gonna stay with them for the rest of their lives. And because I wouldn't say I know how DNA works, but because I have somewhat of an understanding that same traumatic stuff is embedded in their DNA and is passed on to the kids. So now the real question is, would you want to build a family with someone that's trauma that was afflicted by a lot of trauma, or would you rather someone that's just literally a virgin, a newbie to the world, they don't know what the fuck is going on?
I don't think it matter, man. I believe it's the environment you born in. You know what I'm saying? Like far as a mom and dad, right? All that could do is give you the masculine teaching and a feminine teaching at an early age, right? So if you only got one of the parties, at self preservation, you know you have to learn the masculine energy from somewhere else, whether it's the principal, your head coach for your pee wee team, whether it's your uncle, whether it's your big brother, whether it's just to feel that energy, and vice
Right,
versa. You see what I'm saying?
right,
But
right.
at the end of the day, um, if I take Donald Trump, right, and he was born in my neighborhood, he wouldn't even talk like that. His whole lingo would be different. His whole swag would be different. It's a bunch of white boys from my hood. None of them is nothing like that. They don't even have that type of. It's because that's where they born. That's how you can get a Carlton and a Will Smith. Like Carlton don't know nothing about checkups. Just check up. Just a normal checkup on a basketball court. And then a motherfucker throw the ball at you all hard and then bow you in the paint. To Carlton, that's why are you being violent? To a hood dude, we just balling, bro. we hooping. You see what I'm saying? So it's different.
Yeah.
It's levels to the shit on where you
Yeah,
at.
and then
It ain't
and then
where
Let
you
me
bring that
from.
back
It's
to
where
the
you at.
women. Like you don't want to be their daddy. You don't want to be the girl's daddy. You want to be their mate. Their equal. You don't want
I
to like.
want. I want. I want. I don't want. I don't want. Me. I want the woman to want to do whatever she doing for me. I don't want her to feel like she working for me. I want her to want to do it, not me making her like what I'm supposed to have 3 course meals. I'm supposed to and all that weird. Man, what the hell? No,
but that's
they do it because they want to, not because I
that's
make them do it. And
right.
that's just how I look at it. But go ahead.
But that's cool. But like I like that too. But how I came across my situation is that being honest. And that's what we. She told me what she really wanted. She's tired of men lying to her, being distrust. She said, just I wish they'd just be transparent and just tell me exactly what it is. Most time I'll be down with it. So when I met my queen, I was telling her that my thing was about the struggle and about reproducing. And I was really big on reproducing and telling them, like, I don't care. I could be like Dr. Sabian and go to like 72, 70, and still reproducing out here. What I'm saying is that they mad when you reproduce, man. Like, seriously, man. When we making future kings and queens and we producing, and that's why they kept up all the parenthood spots, and that old witch Margaret, the one that's was with
Margaret Sanger.
Ed Hoover and all that. They were trying to give all they was killing us, man. That's why the
Yeah,
polls
Margaret
they was
Singer.
giving us these census saying that we represent 14% of the country and this and that and all these lying stats, and it's really helping our queens kill the kids. You know what I'm saying? As far as and reproducing. But I was telling her, let me get back to where I told her about reproducing, and she said she have a complication in reproducing. So we was right there. So she said, "This is what you really want?" I said, "Yes." So she said, "If you find somebody that you'll make and talk to, and you feel like they are compatible to come into the family with us, that'll be your kids, and they'll be a part of us." So basically, it just kind of married its way into like a polygamous type of thing. You know what I mean? And it's women that can be it's different terminologies for a woman. She can have five, three guys, two husbands, or however you want to put it.
Yeah, like the
Some
queen,
people,
like
some
like when the queen, I'm gonna give it right to you. Like when the queen get fanned with the leaves, and she had like 5 men fanning her. Like Nefertiti would be sitting there, and there'd be 5 men fanning her. That would be her husband. But go ahead.
No, really, and that's real stuff. And I was like, when my dude Israel, he was here. He was in Ohio. No dude named Israel. You probably know him, Bonnie, but his mom was a part of a seven wives in Israel. You know, and the guy was he was a community leader, and they had communities, little communities, and he had seven wives, and everybody participated, helped each other out. Nobody was hating. You know, everybody was taking care of the kids, like raising one village. It was doing a whole nine. So it really exists in other countries. It's just here when that you apply that paperwork and they be trying to put this, oh, you know, you with infidelity and all this kind of I kill you. And this is all this stuff is from the United Snakes of America, man. You know, so you getting all this stuff here, and that's what they brainwashing us where we thinking that we can't coexist with two wives, or you know, a woman can, you know what I mean, like that, and you got
Right.
brainwashed. What I tell my queen, I'm like, look, baby, this is what I want to do. Wow, and she like, I'm all for it. You know, just being transparent. So every time I meet a woman that's younger, that's fit to have kids, I talk to her about it. And boom, and I might be just giving interviews out there. I don't know. You know, interviews is like, you know, where you just sampling. You know what I mean, and seeing if it might be or might not. I ain't playing with it though. But I'm just giving interviews to see if this is what I want. If intelligence kind of take her to the table. That's me, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah, but I don't know where everybody went to, but yeah, that's basically, you know, you just being honest with the queen, man, and the queen being honest with you, man, having a heart to heart. And a lot of them gonna say, man, boy, get the fuck out my face, or is you crazy? You know, who you think this is, and what?
They get, I believe it's just they want to, most women want to be number one. But in reality, when you look at the numbers, it's one male to every 10 women. So if every man was to get married, 90% of the women still would be single. So what are they going to do? I don't know.
Yeah, one of the guys I met, he be on this foreign chat, and he said he trying to get like 6 or 8 of them.
I mean, I just want to be a little bit more. I mean, that number to me was just, I guess I look at it in terms of everything that you would have to deal with. And the average girl, at least here in the States, man, some of them can be a little bit more of a headache than a benefit, right? But on the flip side, when you go overseas, they're a little bit more, I wouldn't say submissive, but they're more likely to listen to everything that you're saying and take how can I say this? They'll be more receptive to the information without any backlash than the average American girl.
So I had a question, right?
So,
What you guys think about the population? Like, do you think it's really more so-called Caucasian people than it is minorities, or are they lying with the numbers again?
well, so my current job, I drive. So I pretty much just drive across the country. Um, and I don't know. I mean, some areas there are a lot of white people, and then there's some areas that there are a lot of black people. But then someone mentioned earlier, so certain areas I noticed is having a lot of Chinese. So a lot of Asians is taking over a lot of places that I didn't see before, especially like Texas, Maryland, and I mean it's always been that way in California. But I would say it's not all what they're showing us. It's a little bit of it's definitely a big explosion of Chinese all over.
I
All
mean,
right, now
why
look,
why would their
when you
why
come,
would their numbers be
listen like this.
greater?
I w- I
Now
wouldn't
listen,
say
if you look though, what happened to the bull? Something weird happened. He cut off some
We
kind
hear
of
you
way.
drop.
All right, cool.
We hear you
But if
drop.
you look like when you look at these Chinese people, right? Like as far as in Ohio, I don't know where y'all at, but they coming in and rampage, right? And it ain't just Chinese people. I don't know what these people is. They're not Chinese people. These motherfuckers is mixed with all kind of shit, but they look Chinese, right? I don't know what the fuck
Mhm.
they is. But anyway, they seclude them all in one area. Like in Akron, it's like North Akron, right? They won't put none of them in West Akron because that shit have turned into gangland for real. So they put them all in North Akron, right on the outskirts of the what the city really is, right? But what
Mhm.
these people do though is they every neighborhood they in, they make sure they build their own fucking store, bro, and it'll be
Mhm.
like called Lapa Oriental Store or such and such store, or and that be their community, and they really build a community, bro. And that's what we gotta start doing instead of relying on them to give us a community. If we
Damn.
just build one, it's simple. That's how the pyramids was built, man. They was built in cities, bro. They'd say we about to move the whole city, and they would tear everything down, take the materials, and relocate and rebuild the whole shit. See what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Yeah.
You
So
ain't
just you just mentioned something that made a lot of sense. So my family's from Jamaica and I'm from South Florida. So I had my taste for food. I'm not getting that out here, right? So I was at a friend's house and I was like, you know what, hey bro, I need to go to the supermarket. Take me to the supermarket so I could buy something to eat. So I get I get the little potatoes, whatnot, and I'm looking for the seasoning to pretty much spice up the food, and I can't find shit. Nothing. No paprika, no all purpose, nothing. So in my mind, it just went right back to what you're saying. It's like the foods, everything is catered towards the community, and then you have like it would be better if, as an example, it would be so hard to find a spot in North Dakota, as an example, that is catered to Caribbean meals because of the fact that Caribbean meals they're thousands of miles away at that point, right? So someone creating a Jamaican or a Caribbean quote unquote supermarket in these areas just to bring a little bit more flavor. Um, I could see how it would be benefit, but then again, if you don't have the populace in those areas, it will be pretty hard. So it's like with the community, you would have to be able to bring a lot of people and have a huge piece of land
but
to go ahead.
right now that's on a whole nother level. Let's keep it by note with the neighborhoods. Now look, now say you see all these people moving in, right? From
Mhm.
this they all Mexicans, right? And they moving in your neighborhood, right? Here's the unity they got. You can try to build a Mexican restaurant. They not fucking with you. They're gonna wait till they get their little corner store that's called the Mexican Pita, and they go in there, bro. You can put up the best Mexican part. You're gonna probably get people from the neighborhood to come, but not them. They're gonna keep their money and shop with themselves and hire
Mhm.
themselves in case they was born in America. Like if you ever go to a Chinese restaurant, it's all Chinese working, right? The ones that got other people working in there was born in America. They even sound American when you talk to them if they got a American working in there. So
Mm.
it's just like they keep all their shit together. And when we do it, it's like, oh, you racist, or oh, you stereotype, or oh, you secret, or oh, no. It's That's how everybody do it, but blacks and white, right? Because they called it the United States of America, bro. That's the only reason people feel that it's prejudicial. Like if you say it's slavery or whatever, that's only a little time frame. Because niggas slaved us, white people slave white people, Chinese people slave Chinese people, and all that shit. You understand? You could say, well, with the manner they did it, okay, it still is not a long enough to encrypt hatred. Reason what the hatred is, people been fighting over this Las Vegas land, not Las Vegas state. The United States is Las Vegas to all the continents. This is Miami Beach. This is the spot to. But go ahead, because I'll just keep talking. But basically, that's what caused the whole division, right? And it's really not a division. They just taught you it was a division. You supposed to deal with your own kind. It's no, you're not supposed to hate no other kind. Like Chinese people don't hate white people. They just don't deal with them. It's a whole different thing when you hate. So this is the reason why it's black on black crime, right? But they don't tell you it's white on white crime. It's whatever you at, that's the crime is on the crime. So if we all segregated in different areas, you got niggas over here, Mexicans over here, Chinese people over here, white folks over here. If you look at the numbers in all them areas, it's all Chinese on Chinese crime, white on white crime, black on black, right? But they'll put the microscope on, like we the customer service to crime on crime. And that's where the niggas get gripes at, like, man, hold on. Y'all never mind, I ain't about to go on a black and white rush, but until people understand it just you deal with your own and ain't nothing wrong to mess with it, but just know that your people is your people, regardless at the end of the day, and don't hate no other people for it. Just love your people. Fuck it. It ain't even hard. No, it is hard though. I ain't gonna even lie. But I don't know. I'm ranting on, but go ahead. See, that's why I got all weird. Matter of fact, I'm about to go ahead and end it, man, because I think it's past the mark, bro, and they don't be watching this long, man. Let me see. How long it been? It been like
2 hours, 16 minutes, 17 minutes.
oh yeah, that'll get us. Oh, we can go for a minute longer and shit. Let me see if let's see who in the chat.
We got 10
Ain't
in the chat.
nobody in the chat. Man, I put a StreamYard tab up and ain't even nobody commenting. Maybe it's my shit lagging or they hating. Yep, I'm about to
Nah,
end it because they're playing games. Hold on. Let me see.
yeah, it shows 10 people, but the chat is a little dry.
Yeah, this shit dry as hell, bro. I ain't about to do this.
But either way, I don't mind it. I don't mind talking or chopping. It don't matter to me.
Oh no, it'd be cool. I just be they gonna have to respect it though. I ain't about to be up here and ain't nobody fucking with it. So cool. We'll just fire this bitch back up tomorrow, man, or something like that, man. And thanks for sliding through and shit.
Hey,
And,
I
and,
appreciate you
and
having me, bro.
that was some dope gems, Mr. Facts. You done gave the people and
Oh, oh yeah, I catch y'all tomorrow then, bro. I'll probably slide on.
all
All right,
right,
Mr.
cool.
Facts.
Thanks, man.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all too, brother.
Hey,
All right,
peace.
dude.
All right, y'all.